Ladies and gentlemen, it's a big, weird, wild world out there, folks, and here we stand. Al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, and this is...
The ProBoh Show!
What's up, boys and girls? It is your Friday edition of The ProBoh Show. Of course, here, I'm mainly talking to the wonderful warriors in the chat and the amazing angelic beings that are the podcast downloaders. For those of you who listen on the radio or listen on YouTube, it's Monday. Sucks to be you guys. Firstly, a big good morning to the people in the chat. We've got Min joining us from the Netherlands, The Bridge joining us from the north of Spain, Vero and Pedro joining us from the center of the Iberic Peninsula right here in Madrid. We've got BTI, Nuria Tam. Oh my God. How you doing, friends? If you want to be as cool as these people that I'm just mentioning right now, it's very easy, guys. All you have to do is go to twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you at 8:30 Central European Time, 2:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time can join in the fun as well. And oh my God, my friends, do we have a good show for you today. In 100 Humans, we are unraveling what you might find in someone's shopping cart. That could be like a cesta de la compra or un carrito de la compra or carrito de compras. What you would find in someone's shopping cart if they were planning a romantic dinner, una cena romántica. And then in Complete the News today, we're going to look at what is wreaking havoc. Que causan estragos, would you say? Is that right? I need some feedback from the audience. What's wreaking havoc in Germany, in Alemania? And also we have an NSA news story that I keep on pushing, but you know, I'm always going to do the best piece of news first, guys. That's the truth. And today's unpopular opinion, again, was it another unpopular one? Yes, it was another unpopular one today. Oh, I'm triggering you guys recently. Today's unpopular opinion is every school and job. Oh, I got nivelazo from Nuria.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
Oh. Every school and job, todas las escuelas y trabajos, every school and job should require a uniform. Deberían exigir un uniforme. Okay, I've done something similar. I've said there should be a life uniform. Basically, bringing the fashion industry to its knees. And you guys, you didn't agree. This was a topic we did last year. So I'm dialing it back a bit today. And let's see how I do. Yeah, Instagram spoilers. Instagram said false, of course. You know, the seat of vanity on the internet, Instagram. But all that, friends, coming up in a little bit. First of all, I'm here. You're here. Let's see what's going on in the world, my friends. Let's see what's going on. First of all, I want to turn my attention to the chat. Vero says, good morning, beautiful warriors. I want to dedicate today's show to my nephew, Mauro, on his 13th birthday. Happy birthday, Mauro. In the background there, all the elves going wild for you. Well done, well done. I don't know, it seems weird. I don't know how to congratulate people on their birthday. Congratulations for not dying. Our birthday is not the weirdest thing. It's like, all right, it's a milestone. All right, well done. You've gone around the sun once. So happy birthday, Mauro, on your 13th birthday. Y muchos más and many more. We also have Pedro in the chat. Min, BTI. How are you doing, guys? Oh, my God. Let's get into some news. Oh, one of my favorite brands. One of my favorite fast food providers are in trouble in the courts. Burger King, this is from Reuters, by the way. Burger King must face a lawsuit claiming that its Whoppers are too small. Oh, Burger King, what are you doing to us? A U.S. judge has denied Burger King's request to dismiss a lawsuit alleging that the company's misled customers into making its Whopper sandwich appear larger in its in-store menus than it actually is. Yeah, I mean, come on. Are we not used to this? Are we not used to being catfished by fast food companies by now? Is this really a litigious issue, friends? What do you think about this? I mean, it's kind of... I mean, a little bit of me thinks, yes, justice. But then there's a big part of my heart that loves Burger King. It's probably one of the better of the fast food burger places. I've been accused of the same thing by ladies, says Min.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Look, fast food companies have been catfishing us for literally decades. Why now? I mean, okay, I get it. So Burger King must face a lawsuit claiming its Whoppers are too small. Burger King se enfrenta a una demanda alegando que sus Whoppers son demasiados pequeños. The lawsuit claims that the depicted Whopper seems 35% larger with more than double the meat compared to what is served. While Burger King argues that they weren't obliged to serve burgers that look precisely like the images. Since when did food turn into online dating, friends? It's like, yeah, I can we go for a coffee? The Whopper shows up and it's it's like 30% older than you thought in the photos. Yeah, I don't get it, but there you go. Burger King facing a lawsuit. And similar lawsuits are also being faced by McDonald's. I'm sure we all know McDonald's, right? And Wendy's. Oh, I miss Wendy's. We used to have Wendy's in England, and they are by far the fast food superior burger, but I haven't had a Wendy's in years. Oh. So yeah, there you go. What do you think about that? Is it time? Is it finally time that we're getting justice for our underserved burgers? I don't know. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's go to the world of marijuana. Wop, wop, wow. I'm not going to make any personal judgments here. We'll just read the news dry. Here we go. The Biden administration's moves to loosen marijuana restrictions. This is coming from Politico.com. Can I ask you a question? I mean, for the international listeners, for all the people in the States, mainly New York, California, and Texas that listen to this show, for all you people, how come you guys are getting to smoke recreational marijuana? And we in Europe, the crazy ones, why are we so restricted? Anyway, the Biden administration, or the Biden administration's, Saxon genitive, look at me being an English teacher.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
So the Biden administration's Department of Health and Human Services has recommended that the Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, you've probably seen that acronym in a million movies, relax federal restrictions on marijuana, specifically the HHS, Health and Human Services. The HHS suggests moving marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 drug under the Controlled Substances Act. Basically, marijuana is getting a promotion. How is it that marijuana is getting a promotion? AI is writing poems and drawing and making great art, and we're all here working 8 hours a day pushing buttons. I don't understand. What's happening to the world, guys? FYI, Joe Biden, my mum still classifies marijuana as the devil's lettuce. Progress is a slow burn, folks. There you go. So yeah, marijuana could be, I mean, it's not, the DEA don't necessarily have to take this this recommendation into account, but it could be that marijuana gets declassified on the same level as drugs like ketamine or testosterone. Yeah. Which creates a weird Venn diagram between gym fanatics and artists. And also, actually, in marijuana news, just as an aside, apparently, according to CNN, marijuana users have more heavy metals in their body. When I say heavy metals, I'm not talking about Pantera and Metallica. I'm talking about specifically lead and cadmium. Uh-oh. Rob, you're a narc, man. Leave marijuana alone. A recent study has revealed that marijuana users have significantly higher levels of heavy metals, especially lead and cadmium, in their blood and urine compared to non-users. The research led by Tiffany Sanchez from Columbia University has found that marijuana users have 27% higher levels of lead and blood in their body. Holy cow, man. I mean, I'm not quite sure what lead and cadmium do, but you know what I mean? What other side effects are we looking at here? You know? Side effects may include munchies, tiredness, and skin-tight leather pants, and long flowing hair. Side effects may include heavy metal guitar solos. So there you go, yeah, marijuana not as safe as it says on the box. And finally, in the final piece of news for today's show, Japan's Prime Minister, how do I unpack this without giving it too much of a negative spin? Let me read the title here from yahoonews.com. Japanese, or the Japan Prime Minister's desperate sushi stunt to show that Fukushima's water is safe. So the Japanese Prime Minister ate a piece of fish caught near the Fukushima nuclear site to demonstrate that the water in the area is safe. This comes 12 years after the Fukushima nuclear power plant disaster, and Japan begins releasing treated wastewater into the North Pacific Ocean. I didn't cover this when it happened, but certainly a kind of publicity stunt like this is worth mentioning. While over 60 radioactive substances have been removed from the water, it still contains trace amounts of tritium and carbon-14. China has banned fish from the area, and other countries are considering similar actions. Yeah, what do you think about this? Didn't The Simpsons literally do something like this? Oh man, is the Japanese Prime Minister literally doing like one of the landmark episodes from The Simpsons where Homer eats Blinky, the three-eyed fish? Is art imitating life here? Would you trust fish caught from the Fukushima area? I don't know, man. I mean, I eat a lot of fast food, I've got to say. I'm not sure if... I don't know. I guess ignorance is bliss. But yeah, I mean... And this is kind of a publicity stunt. Is this really fish caught in the area? We would never know. We would never know, friends. Seems to me like a little bit of propaganda, but there you go. A glowing endorsement by the Japanese PM. Pun intended, my friends. Pun intended. Think about how much meat Godzilla has. Dude, that's true, man. Maybe they're unleashing a kaiju onto the world. Who knows? Who knows? All right, guys, with all that said, let's move on to today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
That's right, folks. It's unpopular opinion time. What is an unpopular opinion? It's a brain fart, un pedo cerebral, pedo mental, una rayada. I share it with you guys on social media, and you guys tell me there what you think. But the real decision makers are the live audience joining me in the chat. Min, Vero, Nuriatam, Pedro, who else? The Bridge, all you guys. So here it is. All schools and jobs should require a uniform. Todas las escuelas y trabajos deberían exigir un uniforme. All right, so I asked them on Instagram, and what do you think they said? 52% false. It's inconclusive, as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people voted on that. 52% false. It's a little inconclusive for my liking. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can come to a conclusive decision in today's show. Manuel Fraga did the same thing at Palomares. Did he really now? Okay. So let's get into it. I did thoroughly torture the elves today until they gave me some pros and cons, so let's get into those right now. So in the pro column, agreeing with the statement that all schools and workplaces should require uniforms. Okay, here we go. Uniforms can help reduce socioeconomic disparities by ensuring that everyone looks similar, thus reducing peer pressure and bullying related to clothing. Uniforms can instill a sense of pride, unity, and shared identity among students or employees. They can also create a more professional atmosphere. Next, not having to decide what to wear every day can save time in the morning and reduce stress related to outfit choices. Oh, the stress, guys, when I'm choosing between which superhero t-shirt to wear. The stress. Anyway, and finally in the pro column, especially in schools and large workplaces, uniforms make it easier to identify outsiders, which can enhance security measures. You know what, dudes?
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Occasionally the elves come up with something I hadn't even considered. Good for you, elves. Okay, in the con column, Los Contras disagreeing with the point that all schools and jobs should require a uniform. Here we go. Requiring uniforms can stifle individuality and self-expression, which are valuable aspects of personal development and culture. Next, while some argue uniforms save money in the long run, initial costs can be burdensome for low-income families. Additionally, workplaces shifting to uniforms may pass on cost to employees. Next, one style or type of clothing might not be comfortable or practical for everyone due to body types, personal preferences, or cultural norms. And finally, in the con column, disagreeing with the point that all schools and workplaces should require uniforms. While uniforms may mask socioeconomic differences, they don't address underlying disparities or prejudicial issues. So what do you think out there, friends? What do you think? Vero says, I understand that some professions require its use for safety reasons, police, firefighters, but it should not be used in schools. In my humble opinion, it's a form of classism. Okay, that's a good point, Vero, but I would argue the contrary. I would argue that having every child dressed exactly the same, kind of masks a person's class or socioeconomic status. It's not like, look, he's wearing the latest Nike Air Jordans. No. Everyone's wearing black shoes. Done. Interesting. I did get some messages on Instagram with regards to this. Let's go to those now. Nessa says, it would be so much easier not to have to think about what to wear each day. And good for kids that might feel bad because their parents can't afford certain clothes. True story. I mean, my family was poor growing up, and honestly, although I hated my school uniform, I imagine that it saved me from a lot of bullying. Come on. Luthia says, wearing what feels right to you can be therapeutic. Enforced uniforms could harm self-esteem and self-worth in certain individuals. Let people be themselves. You guys are attaching I think, look, for me, my opinion, you're attaching way too much of your identity to the clothes you wear. I think. I mean, come on. Let's continue. Elena, uniforms, no way. We express ourselves with what we wear. It's not just about clothes, it's about identity. Everyone wearing the same thing is so vanilla. Wow, vanilla, Elena.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
I assume you're not a native speaker. Vanilla, great vocabulary. Ravi says, I'm on the fence about it, honestly. From an efficiency standpoint, uniform can make mornings easier and reduce distractions, but I can see how they might stifle personal expression. Guys, you guys, how much are you actually expressing yourselves with the clothes you wear? The shoes you're wearing right now, what do they say about you as a person? Your values, your morals? I'd imagine very, very little. The things, what were you wearing on your legs right now? Are you wearing some kind of a dress or some kind of jeans or dress trousers? What do they say about you as an individual? Probably little to nothing, I imagine. Right? I mean, we take the idea that fashion is a form of expression in a certain extent. When I was into heavy metal as a child, cadmium and lead. No, when I was into heavy metal music, when I was a fan of heavy metal music, I still am, but I used to, dress appropriate to my music genre taste, to my clan, you know, and that would involve tight, skin tight black jeans, long curly hair, black t-shirt, a leather jacket. Okay, in that sense, I'm identifying myself as being from the clan heavy metal, right? But not every item of clothing, and most items of clothing that we wear in day-to-day life don't do that, you know? I don't go dressed in any particular way to send any particular message. And if I am sending a message, it's that, you know, I care very little about my fashion. Let's see what the bridge says. Rob, this is another one of my favorite opinions. I agree 100%. There are no reasons for not having a uniform, says the bridge.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Pedro says, I support the unpopular opinion for schools, but in a work environment that could look much like a totalitarian regime. We need to strike a balance between equality and individuality. Uniforms crushes our ability to express ourselves by the way we dress, but I do believe some common sense in dress code is necessary. Min says, it's easier to recognize outsiders, hits the nail on its head. That's exactly why it's one of the first basic steps in fascist regimes. I've gone from a woke monster to a fascist today. Here we go. Remove personality, create unity. Easy to see those who don't belong. Guys, you don't work every day of the week, every hour of the day. I'm not saying you have to wear a uniform all the time. I'm just saying in work and in schools, it would just make life a lot easier. Nuriatab, I know it's very boring, but at the same time, you don't have to think and waste money looking differently every day. True story, Nuriatab. The argument of it helps hide when you're poor might be nice for the kids, but from a societal point of view, it's is prefer to try and eradicate poverty, not hide it. But this will go a long way into that, I think. You know, I remember when I was a kid wanting a pair of Nike Air Jordans so bad. My mum could never afford a pair of Nike Air Jordans. She could never afford. She probably can't even afford it now. I can't probably even afford it. But because the kids at school, I mean, we wore a uniform, but there was no uniform for your feet. But because the other kids at school, every day she had to listen to me, Mum, I want a pair of Nike Air. And instead I got like a pair from the local market. And that's an unfair amount of pressure to put on what was my mum, my single mum who couldn't afford things like that. But as a kid, you don't understand those things. And, you know, and quite recently there's been a few new hires in my office. And the kind of undercurrent of conversation, because these two new hires have decided, you know, they're going to dress like gentlemen and they come in a suit and tie every day. And I think people come to me because I dress like a homeless person to complain about this kind of thing. I'm like, I don't care. But obviously people do. And if that cross-current of conversation got back to them, it would not feel good. Am I identifying myself as some kind of anomaly by dressing well? You know, people making assumptions about how much they're earning in contrast to how much everybody else is earning just because they're wearing a shirt and tie and suit jacket. This kind of discrimination based on simply the clothes choice that you feel comfortable in a professional environment, that could disappear tomorrow if we just sacrifice our desire to express ourselves through clothing. Do you really express yourself through clothing? Right now I'm wearing a Super Mario t-shirt. What am I saying to you? I mean, quite frankly, if you make judgments about people based on the way they dress, you've got bigger problems to worry about. You know? Perhaps the idea that you might be just a little prejudicial. Let's continue. Exactly, Rob. One doesn't need clothes to express oneself. There are other ways to use them. Exactly. Clothes are basically there to because of our poorly designed human bodies that can't kind of weather the temperatures in the place that we live. and it keeps us nice and warm or cold depending on the outside temperature. That's what clothes are for, to mask the sensitive parts of our body, you know. Anyway, so hold on. Why is there a money argument when the uniforms is only for work and school? You still have to buy other clothes for outside, but now you have to buy a uniform on top of it. So the uniform option is now more expensive. No, incorrect. Because if you're not wearing your own clothes on a daily basis, you're not wearing out those clothes. So they last longer. And instead, you wear out in your job, your work environment, bland vanilla uniforms. But guys, we have to get to a quick commercial break. A lot of things you could be doing today. Instead of doing those things, you're here with me, and it means the world. I'll see you in a few minutes. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, ProBoh. Okay, on with the show.
The ProBoh Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Oh my god, and it's been a good one. Let's see. So in the first part of today's show, if you're just tuning in, we spoke about Burger King facing a lawsuit for essentially catfishing its customers. They're facing a lawsuit. They're being sued because their Whoppers seem 35% larger and with double the meat. This is double the meat than there actually is in the burger. Is it? I mean, does this sound unnecessarily adult? This unnecessarily adult-sounding news. But yeah, it's true. And look, you know, I love Burger King. You know, the Burger King delivery drivers know me on a first-name basis. So, you know, I mean, I'm kind of in the middle here. Would you know, are you ever really fooled by these images of photos? We did argue that it was a good move on one show, but it was a good move to relabel soy milk to like soy drink, as they have done throughout the world, or soy extract, or whatever they're calling soy milk now, and you know, because it's not necessarily a milk. So really, is there any difference? Should Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, should they be held liable for fooling customers? It's interesting debate. Then we got into the fact that the Biden administration is recommending softer enforcement of the drug, trying to declassify it to a Schedule 3 drug, putting it in the same tier or category as things like ketamine and testosterone. And also we took a little dive into the fact that marijuana users may have more heavy metal in their body. Oh yeah. Fan of heavy metal, but not that kind. All right, and finally we briefly looked at the Japanese Prime Minister's weird stunt by eating sushi that came from the Fukushima water area. Yeah, I mean, it was not a good look when they released the wastewater into the North Pacific Ocean. It was not a good look for them. So I kind of understand why this possibly had to happen, why his cabinet kind of probably recommended that he do something of this sort. It does seem a little bit desperate and weird. And who's to say it was actually sushi that came from the Fukushima area? We would never know. We would never know, folks. And then we moved into today's unpopular opinion, which was all schools and jobs should require a uniform. All right, so let's get into it. The poll is finished. Okay, let's get into it. I don't see. Oh no, wait. Let's go up. You're conveying that you're into. Okay, so I said before the break that, you know, I'm not saying anything in particular by wearing this t-shirt and jeans. You know, I don't think the vast majority of the clothes we wear actually say anything about us as a person. The only go to demonstrate what clothes we like to wear, which is a circular argument, you know. It seems weird to me that people tie so much of self-expression to the clothes that they wear. When really you shouldn't be judging people by the clothes that they wear or how they appear externally anyway. Right? Anyway. Let's see. So I'm conveying, according to Min, I'm conveying that I'm into pop culture, video games, and that dressing nicely isn't necessary for me. You don't need a suit or uniform, in your opinion. Look, I dress however the hell I want for my job, but I'd still wear a uniform tomorrow. Why? Because it would just save me the time of picking out a t-shirt. That's literally seconds in my case. But those seconds could be better put to use by drinking another coffee, if you ask me. Let's see, North Korea. This is from Born to Iron Man. I'm a fascist today. Yesterday I was a leftist woke monster. Today I'm a fascist. BTI says, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un would agree as well.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Let's see. Vero says, what I meant with my comment was that on the unpopular opinion is what schools promote using uniform is the distinction between their students and the rest of the schools that don't. So Vero's kind of identifies schools that require a uniform as more perhaps as more of a high class establishment, right? But I'm saying that every school should require a uniform, thus eliminating that distinction. But yeah, it's a fair point, Vero. It's a fair point. Min says also, what does it actually solve? Do companies and schools get to buy their own uniforms? Do companies and schools get to buy their own uniforms? In which case, the difference in uniform makes it very obvious what class you're in, as nicer schools and nicer jobs would give you better uniforms, making your status painfully obvious and resulting in people from elite places wearing their uniform outside work or school to show it off. I don't see what it solves, even if you reject all the problems that come with it. I still champion for policies that actually help society reduce inequality rather than try to slap a uniform-shaped bandage on it. Wow.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Urs says, most posh schools in the UK wear uniforms or not. Suits and ties, sure. It's for the students not to feel poor. The same here in ICADE, where students have to wear a suit and tie. For me, it's kind of classy and posh. All right. Okay, so several points there. Some great points. We're gonna wrap this up fairly soon. My argument in favor of every kind of school. Look, I would advocate for the fashion industry just to disappear entirely. And that we all wear burlap sacks. You know? I would advocate for that. Because I think fashion contributes little to nothing to society. It's one of those industries that just feeds itself. It creates a necessity for itself. And then the idea that the quality or the brand that you follow would somehow make a statement about your personality and your goals, your morality, your status as a person. I just think that's odd and weird. You know, I think we can all agree that child labor is a bad thing outside Hollywood. Talking about the flexible morals of society, right? Child labor is bad, except when they're in a movie that I like. So we all agree that child labor is bad, and look, we all know what conditions a lot of workers in the fashion industry have to work under in developing countries. You know, could we not just mitigate a lot of that by just eradicating the fashion industry? So I took a step back today and I said, well, look, all right, you want to express yourself. But how about in professional environments or environments of learning? We enforce a uniform. You know, you have to wear a uniform. Everyone dresses the same. Individuality is expressed by what we say. No more judgments based on the clothes you wear. No more economic labels placed upon you, depending on the quality or brand that you're donning that particular day. That's my idea. And okay, and it's fair to say what, actually a great point what Min said earlier. Isn't it better? Isn't it better to really champion policies that reduce inequality in society? When it comes to, I'm talking about socioeconomic inequality here. Like the wealth disparity that exists in the world. The fact that there are very few people at the top of a giant pyramid that own the vast majority of the world's wealth. Isn't that an issue we should be tackling? Sure. But you could make that argument for a ton of things in society, from the quality of the food that we eat to use of technology. For example, the vast majority of tech CEOs do not allow their children a mobile phone. Or do not allow them to access the platforms that they run. That's a fact, my friends. Yeah, and these are all problems that need to be sorted out. But let's take them, let's imagine for a second we could take them one step at a time. Let's imagine that we could eradicate a predatory industry like the fashion industry. Let's imagine that kids are no longer kind of judged on the kind of trainers, the brand of jeans or t-shirts or clothes that they wear, or adults for that matter. You know, not all jobs pay enough to be able to make your life a fashion catwalk. And sadly, we do live in a world where people judge you on your appearance, and it shouldn't be like that. But that's just the way it is, friends. So let's take away that source of prejudice. That's my point. But what did you guys say? Because I'm just one man shouting into an echo chamber. What did you guys say? So I released the poll in the chat, and the decision makers right here in the audience, they made a decision. I said that all schools and jobs should require a uniform, and you guys said 57% true. Woo. Okay, let's plant our feet firmly on the ground for a second. Let me just see what people are saying. Fashion is needed, says Swizzer. Women will go crazy to wear all the same things forever. Children belong in mines, says Min. And las minas.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Wearing a uniform. No identity. Get down there and get me some lithium for my batteries. The economic label is not placed on clothing. I've met Christian Louboutin. I don't know who that is, but I imagine it's someone from the fashion world. And he wears standard clothes that do not stand out. At the time, he was using a Renault Clio, an old one, full of paint stains and dents. No one would know who he is. Status is about the user trying to pass the status, not the receptor. If you don't care, the status doesn't have an effect. Louboutin is a fashion billionaire. There you go. Yeah, I mean, look at a lot of, like, Steve Jobs didn't dress like a multi-billionaire. You know, it's true. It seems to be once you pass a certain threshold of wealth, you don't wear your wealth on your body, right? But we can't deny that society is what it is, and the fashion industry is what it is, one of the world's biggest polluters, one of the biggest exploiters of developing nations. That is the reality, folks. And that is where I would like to strip a little bit of power. But if I'm going to be real with you guys, would I want to wear a uniform every single day to go to work? It would suck. It sucked when I was in school, and only with the benefit of hindsight, because my family was quite poor. Only with the benefit of hindsight do I now see the benefits of it. So maybe it's not a catch-all solution. Maybe as a society we should be looking to reduce inequality in more sustainable ways. Can't disagree with that. But we can't ignore the injustices caused by the fashion industry. On that note, and you know what? I'll admit it. I'll hold my hands up. You guys win. I lose. Let's move on to today's 100 Humans. Weirdly popular on what's it, on Instagram, today's poll. It seemed like it kind of kept on jumping between true and false. I imagine because it's just like it's where the fashion people live, right, on Instagram. Let's see. Enforcing clothing, people would start using more tattoos, rings, and bling. Yeah, that's a fair point. People will always express their individuality, won't they? Even if they're wearing uniforms. Like, I grew my hair long when I was in school just because, I didn't want to look like everyone else. I got my ears pierced. It's true. People will always express their individuality. I just like to see it not done through clothing, personally. That's my main point. Billionaires don't really go for fashion anyways. It's multi-millionaires. Yeah, true story. Someone even shaved their hair, says Swizzer. Just like their favorite radio host. Am I right? Okay, so it was a long walk to work today, guys, across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys. And on that walk, I encountered 100 humans, and I asked them all a question. Today's question was, name something you might find in a person's shopping cart if they're planning a romantic dinner. Nombra algo que podrías encontrar en la cesta de la compra de una persona que planea una cena romántica. Name something you would find in a person's shopping cart if they were planning a romantic dinner. I asked them that question. They gave me their answers. I have the top 7 answers right here. Your job in the chat is to identify those top 7 answers. All right, let's get into this. Min is kicking us off today with candles. Candles. Velas. Candles. There's candles there. Ooh. Our boy Min from the Netherlands on fire. On fire. Candles is there. 26 of the 100 humans said that. All right. Expensive food items. You have to be more specific. Wine, says Min. A bottle of wine. Having a romantic dinner, you'd see a bottle of wine in your carrito de compra or in your cesta de la compra. Is it there? Bottle of wine? Yes, it is. And Min, it's today's number 1 answer. Well done, Min. Okay, Min's on fire. It's his to lose today. He just identified the top 1 and 2 answer. Nuria Tam says strawberries. Fresas, strawberries. Is strawberries there? Yes, it is. My God, you're on fire today. How is it I'm so poorly versed in in romantic dinners? It would never occur to me to buy strawberries. Maybe a tub of Ben & Jerry's strawberry ice cream. I don't know. Swizzer says chocolates. Chocolates. Planning a romantic dinner? Chocolates. Is it there? Oh my God. See that? And that one for me is a no-brainer. Of course, chocolates, romance. It's not there though. Okay, Min, come on, Min. Min says adult toys. Obviously, by that, he means like Monopoly. Board games, things like that. Adult toys. All right, Min? Nuritam also said chocolate. Swizzer says lubricant. Come on, guys. Vero, we had the answer candles. Well done. It was the number 2 answer. Nuritam says champagne. Champagne. Is champagne there? Yes, it is. Nuritam, well done. Champagne is there. It's the 5th most popular answer with 5 of 100 humans saying you'd see champagne in a person's shopping cart if they're planning a romantic dinner. Okay, you're missing 3. 3. Okay. Let's see. Contraceptives. Says Ors. It's not there. But gentlemen, don't be a fool. Wrap your tool. Yeah. It's not there, but it should be. I appreciate that, Ors. I don't know what that is, Swizzer. Get that. I don't even know how to pronounce that. So, my bad. We've had champagne, Nuriata. Bridge, well done. Let's see. Good wine. We've had wine as an answer. Flowers, says Vero. Flowers. You'd see flowers in a shopping cart for a romantic dinner. Is it there? Well done. It's the 7th most popular answer, with 3 of 100 humans saying flowers. A Spanish man to serenade you, says Min. Cream, says Swizzer. You know what? I'm going to give you that. Swizzer, well done. I imagine this is probably the most obscure answer, but whipped cream. I imagine to put on the strawberries, right? Whipped cream. Nata montada, would you say? Or crema batida? Yeah, whipped cream. I'm going to give myself...
Será posible. Vaya nivelazo.
Come on, guys, I'm killing it. All ladies like some cream. Come on, we're getting... Yeah, let's chill out. Nuryatam, nata montada. Whoa, I did get that right. Here's one for you, Nuryatam.
Será posible. Vaya nivelazo.
Yeah, to put on the strawberries. Sure, says Min. I can't think of another use. Okay, you're just missing one. And let's be honest, people say music is the food of love, but it's not. We have long known the aphrodisiac qualities of these of this food stuff. It's a seafood. Ooh, I see an answer in the chat. It's a seafood. And it's thought to be an aphrodisiac. Every time I've eaten these, I've ended up with some kind of a stomach complaint. But you normally, I don't know how you would eat them. You eat them out of the shell, squeezing a little bit of lemon on top, I would imagine. Yeah, a seafood. Swizzer and Vero both say oysters. Is oysters there? Yes, it is. Well done, guys. Okay, well done. You did it. That's today's 100 humans. You identified them all. So I asked 100 humans to name something you might find in a person's shopping cart, carrito de compras or cesta de la compra, if they were planning a romantic dinner. I asked them that question, they gave me their answers, and here are the top 7 answers. Okay, as identified by you guys in the chat, in position number 7, we had flowers, flores, flowers. In position number 6, with 3 of 100 humans, oysters, ostras. Ostras, oysters. In position number, what are we on? 5. Thank you, elves. We had champagne. In position number 4, we have strawberries, fresas. In position number 3, with 5 of the 100 humans saying this one, we had whipped cream, nata montada. In position number 2, with 26 of the 100 humans saying this one, candles, velas. And finally, in position number 1, with 45 of the 100 humans, and a big congratulations to Min for identifying this one, a bottle of wine. Well done, guys. Bottle of wine. A humble bottle of wine, my friends. Okay, with that done, well done, guys. Let's move on to today's Complete the News.
Complete the news.
You guys are on fire today. The 100 humans have become an exercise in saying things that I can't read out on the radio. I see it. No chloroform? Asks Swizzer. Your body didn't like it, Rob. That reduces it to anything that isn't frozen pizza. Yeah, exactly. If I don't put something in my body that's fast food, my body rejects it immediately. Oh, what is this? A vegetable? No contraception. These 100 humans like to live dangerously. Yeah, I think, if you... It's quite presumptuous, no? That your romantic date would pay off. An additional source of cream. Guys, okay, let's get into complete the news. All right, so what is complete the news? I'm going to give you a news headline, un titular, but I'm going to leave out some important information. With the 3 options I give you, you have to complete the news. You'll very quickly see how this works. Let's get straight into it with the first complete the news today. Here we go. So, why highly radioactive blank wreak havoc in Germany? ¿Por qué los blanc altamente radioactivos causan estragos en Alemania? Why highly radioactive blank wreak havoc in Germany? But what is it? What is highly radioactive? Is it A, schnitzels? Is it B, cuckoo clocks? Or is it C, wild pigs? Schnitzel is, I think it's a piece of meat pounded flat with a hammer, and then breaded and fried. Schnitzel. A, B, and C, or C. Highly radioactive blank wreak havoc in Germany's A, schnitzels, B, cuckoo clocks. You know what a cuckoo clock is? I don't know how you say it in Spanish. Un reloj. Or cuckoo? Oh, I don't know. Cuckoo. Or is it C, wild pigs? What do you think? Schnitzel is usually pork, lean steak. Thank you for dropping some knowledge there, Swizzer. Reloj de cuckoo, or cuco. Reloj. Relojio de cuckoo, says Swizzer. Reloj de cuckoo. All right, well done, guys.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
Okay, it seems to be just counting the letters in the chat. It seems to be that you guys think it's C, wild pigs. Let's see if you're correct, shall we? All right, let's do it. All right, highly radioactive. Ooh, right at the end there. No. It's still C. Unanimously, you guys say wild pigs. And it is wild pigs, guys. Well done. Highly radioactive wild pigs wreak havoc in Germany. Porque los cerdos salvajes altamente radioactivos causan estragos in Alemania. This piece of news coming from the dailybeast.com. Wild pigs in Germany have been found to contain high levels of radioactivity, a lingering consequence of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster in 1986. The radioactive fallout from the incident drifted across Europe, contaminating vast areas. While most of the region has since recovered, these wild boars continued to consume radioactive mushrooms and truffles, leading to elevated levels of radiation in their body. As a result, hunters are advised to test the radioactivity of the boar before consumption. There you go. Super Pig is coming to another Simpsons prediction, says Swizzer, yeah? Spider Pig. Yeah, the PM of Japan is recreating one episode. and Germany's recreating Spider Pig. There you go. It's official. You heard it here first, folks. All right, we've got another one. Let's do piece of news number 2. The NSA, the National Security Agency of the United States. Okay. The NSA orders employees to blank with dignity and respect. I said blank. NSA orders employees to blank with dignity and respect. El NSA ordena a sus empleados blank con dignidad y respeto. But what is it? Is it A, spy on the world? Is it B, dress for video meetings? Or C, engage in online discourse? NSA orders employees to blank with dignity and respect. Is it A, spy on the world, B, dress for video meetings, or C, engage in online discourse? What do you think? My God. Are they showing up to meetings naked? Are they trolling people online? Are they? Well, we know they're spying on the world, right? What do you think? NSA orders employees to blank with dignity and respect. Seeing a lot of B in the chat. Dress for video meetings. Okay, let's see if you're right. Are you guys starting to see the code behind my things? Do you guys think you've cracked it? Let's see. Okay, the NSA orders employees to... Everyone said B. The answer was A, spy on the world. With dignity and respect. El NSA ordena a sus empleados espiar al mundo con dignidad y respeto. The NSA orders employees to spy on the world with dignity and respect. Jeez Louise. Infringe people's privacy with the highest amount of respect and dignity, please. It's truth. This is a true story, believe it or not. Coming from... God, I can't remember where we got this story from. My bad. Sorry, guys. The National Security Agency, the NSA, The US agency responsible for electronic and cyber spying has released a new policy directive instructing its employees to treat foreign intelligence targets with dignity and respect. Wouldn't the most dignified thing be, I don't know, not spying on people? Would that not be maybe the most dignity you can treat people with? I don't know. This directive aimed at the NSA's Signals Intelligence Division was issued by NSA Director Paul Nakasone. So there you go, guys. You may be being spied on, but rest safe in the knowledge that you're being spied on with the utmost dignity and respect. Oh, guys, what a week of shows. By the way, that piece of news coming from theintercept.com. Guys, thank you so much for joining me this week. It's been a hell of a week of programming, and thank you so much for joining me on this amazing Friday morning. Guys, don't forget, number one, thank you so much for sharing and causing a bit of an explosion in downloads of the podcast. I greatly appreciate that. And a massive thank you for those of you who joined me live. Guys, fact of the matter is, there are a ton of things, an infinite number of things you could have been doing this week, with the mornings of this week. But instead of doing those things, you have taken the time to spend some time with me, and it means the absolute world, my friends. Guys, I will be back on Monday for more ProBoh Show madness, same time, same place. I'll see you then.